folks. I'm Bill Campaign. I'm the Internet Sales Manager here at Smail. So some of you know me from selling you cars, and some of you know me just from passing through that have been here. I'm going to hit some stuff on OnStar today. Some of the stuff you've heard from your salesman. Some of it you maybe not have. If you have questions, give me a call, or stop me after or give me a call any day. The main thing I want to talk about OnStar today is all the features that it has and some of the stuff that you probably don't know that it has that can save you money in the long run. Okay. First of all, the main thing with OnStar is the automatic crash notification. So that's the main thing with the OnStar. So if you're going down the road and you swerve to miss a deer or you swerve to miss a car, and that car makes any type of movement that it shouldn't be, it's going to automatically start calling OnStar. Where in the past, the airbags had to go off first, and then the OnStar will call you. So if you swerve and miss that deer, the car feels that it swerved, it's going to call OnStar. They're going to get on the phone and ask you if you're okay. If you're okay, they're going to respect your privacy and they're going to go about their business. If you don't answer, you say you swerved and went over a bank and ran into a tree, God forbid, then they're going to send the cavalry for you, send the police, fire, whatever they need to send for you. So the process has moved up. They can also pinpoint you within 10 feet of where you are. Before it used to be, it would be somewhere between X and Y. Now we can tell you if you're in the eastbound lane. They can also tell you and tell the fire company when they're coming there how bad the severity of the accident, where the accident was, whether it was in the rear of the car, whether it was in the front of the car, and how severe the damage is. So that's the key thing with OnStar, to protect you and your family and the kids. I always tell all my customers, especially with the women, it's like having your husband sitting there. It's like having an angel sitting there. So if the husband or vice versa, the wife's not sitting there, you have somebody there with you. The other things that it does have, if you lock your keys in the car, all you do is call the number, they unlock the vehicle for you. But what a lot of people don't know is they can also lock the car for you. Say you go to the airport and you're all the way through the metal detectors and you know what a hectic trip that is. And you say, did I remember to lock the car? Call OnStar, they'll lock the car for you too. Okay. Roadside Assistance. You have roadside assistance through GM for 5 years or 100,000 miles. You also have roadside assistance through OnStar as long as you keep the OnStar going. The first year of OnStar is free. After the first year, it's $199 for the safe and sound. It's $299 if you have the directions and connections, which I'll get to in a minute. But with that safe and sound package, it's all the stuff that I just told you about: locking the keys in, unlocking the keys, the roadside assistance. So if you get a flat tire, you call them, they'll come change the tire for you. If you need towed, you call OnStar, hit the blue button, they come and tow you. Okay. Two new things that they put into effect on the OnStar, which is fantastic. The first one is, remember Katrina when it hit? No phones were working. The only phones that were working were OnStar phones that you have through the OnStar system. The only problem was nobody knew anybody's phone number. So if you folks were in Katrina, Indians were down there or whatever, and your relatives here, if they didn't have that number, there was no way for them to get a hold of you to see if you made it to the car, if things were okay. Or maybe you lost your cell phones and the batteries were dead and you couldn't remember the phone numbers, for your loved ones or friends up here. So now there's a crisis thing you can set up. All you do is you can go online or you can call, hit the blue OnStar button, and give them all of your personal information as far as family numbers. It all stays confidential. It doesn't go through the government to the, everybody thinks, the government's in our business all the time. Okay? It strictly stays with OnStar. You can give your son's phone number, your wife's phone numbers, any of that type of stuff. The other great thing that they have, and anybody have kids here? Or had kids that are grown up and still? Amber Alert. Okay? If you are driving down the road and you are in with a radius of an Amber Alert, they pop right in on your OnStar and tell you that there's an Amber Alert. Look out for a red cargo van with a little girl, 3 foot with blue jeans and a sweatshirt. So that's a fantastic thing. Another great thing that they have is if your car ever gets stolen, is theft. Okay? You call the police, tell them I have OnStar, and that'll help them track the vehicle. Now with that said, some vehicles, not all of them, have two different things. One, they can either have a vehicle slowdown or they can have what they call ignition block, okay? The ignition block is if a thief steals your vehicle, once he shuts that vehicle off, it will not start again. So if he decides he wants to go to his buddy's house and, you know, do something crazy for a couple minutes or pick him up, he shuts it off. As soon as he goes to start it again, it will not start again, okay? On some of the vehicles, there's also what they call vehicle slowdown. So if the vehicle's going down the road and the police catch up to them, the police call back to OnStar, tell them that it's a safe condition to shut the vehicle off, and they shut the vehicle down, okay? And I don't know the list completely, but just to give you an idea, the slowdown is on the 2010 DTS and the Escalade models, the ESVs and the Platinums, all that. And it's on the Sierra Denali truck, the Sierra pickups, the GMC Terrains, and the GMC Yukons. All have slowdown. So if your car's stolen, police are on them, they can shut it down and safely, you know, without them getting hurt or anybody else getting hurt. The ignition block is on the 2010 Cadillac DTS and the Escalade models, and it's also on the Sierra pickups and all the Yukons. Now with that said, eventually the next year is coming, they're going to keep adding more vehicles to it, because this is a new program. I actually got to go to this program a year ago when just the Yukons had it, and they've already added in 1 year some of the Cadillacs and the other vehicles. So it's a great thing to keep everybody safe, and hopefully keep your car safe too. Let me talk a little bit about turn-by-turn navigation. All of the GMs and Cadillacs have it, okay? You have to pay for it. Some of you have to pay for it. The Sierra Denalis, the Acadias, the Yukon Denalis, and all the Cadillacs do have it free for the first year. So if you have any of those vehicles, please use it. And all it is navigation without the screen, okay? When it first came out, I was a little hesitant about it because I'm thinking, I don't know how this is going to work. So me and one of my other salespeople, we went out and we tried it. And what's great about it is, in regular navigation, say we're going for a ride and we're going to Mellon Arena and we want to stop and get some Italian food. Well, on the regular navigation, if anybody has it, you got to stop, put the car in park, and re-punch it in if you didn't do it from the beginning. With the OnStar navigation turn by turn, you just hit the button again and say, hey, we want to stop at the closest Italian restaurant. It automatically recalculates and takes you to the nearest Italian restaurant. Okay, so it's very simple. When you first hit the blue button, tell them that you want to go somewhere, you'll talk to a live person. After you tell them where, it's going to go to an automated system, but it's still going to tell you turn by